you doing? It's MrDoTheMath here, and today we're going to learn about multiplying radicals. Alright, multiplying radicals. We've already discussed simplifying radicals, and we've talked about adding and subtracting radicals. Now we're going to add another thing to our arsenal of radicals, and that's multiplying the radicals. Okay? And so, as an intro, you can follow along with your note sheet. As an intro, we can look at this example here where it says the square root of 8 times the square root of 2 equals 4. How do you think that this is possible? What do you think happens here? Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Well, you subtract the 2 from 8.
You subtract 2 from 8? Okay. What do you think?
You divide it.
You divide it? Okay. What do you think?
You simplify the 8, and then you put like the 2, and then you multiply the 2 by 2.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Now, if you divide these two, that's not what multiplication is, but if you divide them, you end up with 4, square root of 4, which will give you 2. Okay? So, actually what goes on here is this, 8 times 2. What's 8 times 2?
16.
And the square root of 16 is
4. Oh, I said
4. Alright. That's how you get that.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay? So, how to multiply radicals. How to multiply radicals. Alright? The first thing you want to do is you want to multiply the outside numbers. Multiply the outside numbers and keep them outside. Right? Then the next thing you want to do is you want to multiply the inside numbers. Inside, meaning the numbers inside of the radical, right? And you keep them inside. Okay? Then after that, you just simplify. Alright, multiply outside numbers to the outside numbers, and you keep them outside. You multiply the inside numbers, the numbers inside of the radical, to other numbers inside of the radicals, and then you keep those inside of the radical. Then after all of that is done, you simplify the radical, right, to see what you have left. Okay? So you simplify, you simplify. Okay? So let's look at this first example here. You got the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. Alright? There are no numbers on the outside, so you'll just be multiplying the numbers inside the radical. So that's 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Now, you're done. You multiplied and you kept them on the inside. From there, you're going to simplify this. So when you simplify, the square root of 25 gives you what? 5. Okay? So the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 equals 5. What do you notice about this? Just look at this. What do you notice about this?
They're all 5.
Yeah, they're all 5s, right? So if you multiply the same radicals by itself, you get the number that's inside there. Okay? So that's a quick rule, right? So you see the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 equals 5. So then what happens if you got the square root of 2 times the square root of 2? Yeah. Square root of 4. The square root of 4 is what? 2. What about the square root of 7 times the square root of 7? 49. The square root of 49 is 7.
So is that the same? Is that the same number?
Exactly. So if I did the square root of 34 times the square root of 34, what might we get? Yeah, you get 34. Right. So the same radicals times itself gives you the same number inside of the radical. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So we don't gotta work none of that. We just pick the answer that's on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. So if this was 20 times 20, square root of 20 times square root of 20, your answer is going to be 20. Right? Yeah, Simon.
Now what if they're different numbers?
If they're different numbers, that's different. Right? So let's look at some. Alright? Just like we did before. Alright. Now, let's look at number 3. Yeah, number 3. It says 5 root 6 times 2 root 5. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Everybody see that? All right. Now, the rule says to first multiply the outside numbers by the outside numbers. That means you're going to multiply 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is what? 10. Then you're going to keep them outside. Then you're going to multiply the inside numbers. That's 6 times 5. 30. Right? So that's 30. Now, from here, you're going to simplify. All right? So, when you simplify, let's break this down. 30 is going to be 3 times what? 3 times 10. And then you got 10 is what? 2 times 5. Do we have any pairs?
No.
No. So they all stay in the radical. Therefore, the solution is 10 root 30. That's it. All right?
Oh, why do it stay 30?
Huh?
Why do it stay 30?
Why does it stay 30? Can anybody tell us why it stays 30?
There's no 2 numbers that match.
Right. There are no pairs under here.
So we just keep it the same?
They stay in the house. Yeah. They stay in the house. Okay? Good. All right. Let's look at number 4. Let's look at another example. All right. Here we go. 2 root 2 times 3 root 10. All right. Number 1, multiply the outside numbers. All right. So that's 3 times 2, which is what? 6. Good. And then you got 2 times 10, which is what? 20. Okay. Everybody good with that so far?
Yep.
We all know it. So, Kaylee, what's next? Can somebody help her out? Yes.
You have to simplify.
Exactly. Simplify.
Yeah, simplify.
So 20 is going to be 2 times what?
10.
10. And then 10 is what?
5.
2 times 5. Let's check this out. Do we have any pairs?
Yes. 2.
Yeah, it's a pair of 2s. So they're going to join this 6. So it's going to be 6 times 2. And he stays by himself inside. So that's going to be 6 times 2, which is 6 times 2?
12.
12 root 5 is your solution.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Would it also work if you use 4 and 5?
If you use 4 and 5? Yeah. Wait, so you broke down 20 to be 4 and 5, right?
Yeah.
4 is a perfect square. The square root of 4 is 2. So yeah, because that'll be 2 and 2.
Oh, and it'll be the same answer.
Yeah, you get the same answer. Okay? Let's look at... Oh, let's look at this last example here. I'm going to just do 7. I'm going to go to this last example. Okay? So you got 3 root 14 times 5 root 14. Okay? Remember that rule from earlier, right? First thing you want to do is multiply the outside. So that's going to be 3 times 5, which is?
15.
15. Then you got the square root of 14 times the square root of 14.
196.
Okay. Yeah, 196. But you ain't even have to, yeah, that's all you have to do, right? So, since it's the square root of the same number times the square root, it's the square root of a number times the same thing, it's just 14, right? So then it's 15 times 14, which is 210, right? And that is your answer. Now, Katie actually worked out 14 times 14, which is 196. The square root of 196 is 14. So again, somebody just asked, like, we don't even have to show any work. No, you don't have to show any work because it's the same thing. So it ends up being 14. So it'll be 15 times 14. Okay? So again, the only thing that's going on when you multiply radicals is you're multiplying the outside numbers, the numbers outside of the radical, and leaving those outside, and then you're multiplying the numbers that are inside of the radicals, and you're keeping those inside. After that, you simplify, right? And after you simplify, that is your solution. Yes, ma'am.
Can you work on number 2 for me?
Number 2?
Yeah.
3 and 7?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at it.
Up on the top it says equals 4, but what if there isn't no equal?
The square root of 3 times the square root of 7.
I knew it was on there.
The square root of 3 times the square root of 7. There's no outside number, so it's just 3 times 7. 21. Can you simplify 21?
Yeah.
Yes? To what?
7 times 3.
3 times who?
3 times 7. I said
3 times 7. These are both prime numbers. Can you do anything with them?
No.
No. So the answer stays 21. Square root of 21. That's it.
Like 7 times 3.
Same difference. Even if you do 7 times 3, there are no pairs. They stay in the radical. Okay.
Wait, what number was that?
Now, what if you have one that has no number on the outside and one that has a number on the outside?
That's a great question. Like which one, Simon?
Number 5.
Give it to me. Read it.
12, like in that box sort of thing.
The square root.
Yeah, square root, and then
So the square root of 12
yeah, plus 5 square root of 3.
plus 5 root 3. Oh wow! Check this out.
Wouldn't that be just 5?
Huh? Can you multiply these?
No, 3.
Because addition is not multiplication, right? So that's going back to our last lessons. Okay, so we'll just do it. The first thing you need to do now, if this is addition, is simplify this radical. So 12 is going to be what?
6 and 2.
2 and 6, and then what else?
3.
2 and 3. You got a pair. So you end up with 2 root 3 here, plus 5 root 3.
Oh, okay.
Reviewing that rule. When you add radicals, the what's inside the radicals must be the same. And since they are the same, your solution ends up being what?
7 root 3.
7 root 3. Very good. Okay?
Oh,
Okay. Now, to Simon's question, what if this was not a plus, right? If this was just multiplication, right? If this was just multiplication, then it would turn out this way. 5 times 1. 5 goes on the outside, right? Because that's understood that it's a 1 there. Everybody good with that? If you're good with that, say amen.
Amen.
Cool. All right? And then you got 3 times 12. What's 3 times 12? 36. Can you simplify 36?
Yeah.
The square root of 36 is what?
6.
6. So you end up with 5 times 6, which is 30. Okay? So yeah, Simon, if there's no number in front of here, it's understood that there's a 1 there. Okay? Alright. How do we feel?
Good.
We feel good about it? Okay, cool. Don't forget to like and subscribe. MrDoTheMath out.